How to make your new story your only reality. Today on Awakening with Amy. Hi, welcome. I'm Amy Valentine, certified life coach, hoping to awaken within you a mindset that you can be, do, and have any desire. And today we're going to talk about your story, the story you're telling yourself, and how that creates your reality. We're going to make the new story easy to contemplate versus hanging on to the old unwanted story. And this video is really inspired by a couple of things. One, I was reading A Course in Miracles yesterday and just wrote down like all these notes about, they talked about the criterion of choice. You know, what is really motivating us to choose what we choose, or in other words, to manifest and create our reality, right? So, and the other thing comes from a text message I got from a really dear friend of mine that has been, I don't want to give too many real details, but I'll give you like the crux of it. It's just like kind of like a relationship that's over. They're still kind of commingled a little bit together because of some work stuff they have together. But it's a relationship she no longer wants to be in. And she wrote something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing it, that she feels that it's so difficult to give up this person because he is the kind of like the conglomeration, the manifestation, she thinks, of all her ego desires. And she said, I know I have to drop it, let it go, get rid of it. But I find that really hard to contemplate that. Okay, so let's start with that. When we think anything is difficult, we are literally unconsciously choosing fear. We're choosing the ego's stance. We're thinking the ego is outside of us, represented in that person or this situation. And remember, everything that's going on in our reality is just a mirror reflection of what is going on within. So yeah, they're a real person. It's a real experience. But what's really going on is that ego is just a point of relativity. It is a thought of fear. It has no power in and of itself. The only power it gets is if we feed it, if we give it power with our focus and our attention, thinking we have to get rid of it. And the truth is, the universe, there is no getting rid of anything. It's an inclusive universe. It includes. That's what it means to not resist anything. When we resist the voice of the ego, thinking we have to fight it or get rid of it or let go of it, we're literally giving it power. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. The key is to give the ego its day, listen to it, and then ask it, what is it here to show me? That fear is present. And what does fear mean? It's my emotional guidance system letting me know I'm thinking a thought or that is not in alignment with my higher self, my higher ideal, my desire, or I'm around something or someone that is not in alignment with my desire or my highest ideal. That's all it's there for. It's a point of relativity. It's for us. And when we think it's against us, we create the struggle. We create the difficulty, right? And so we get into this loop of trying to figure things out. We try to change things, fix things. We say that they're this way and that's why I'm upset, or the situation, the circumstances and events are making me unhappy, right? We're choosing to give power to a construct instead of turning to the real power, which is the love within us, right? Trying to cope and tolerate unwanted scenarios is tying you to the unwanted story. So what do? We tell the story, we tell the new story from that place of truth within, from I am. Be still and know that I am God. And remember, Neville says God is our human imagination, that we are literally the center of that God mind, the divine mind, infinite intelligence. Every one of us is an individualized spark of that infinite intelligence, that source. And we are at the center of it. You are at the center of it. And whatever you think into that mind becomes your life story, your life experience. That's what Ernest Holmes says. Everything is one, one, one. It's the law of oneness, the law of being. Who and what do I say I am? Who am I being? It's never what should I do? Who am I being? So we want to, instead of fix, correct, change, avoid, get rid of, we want to choose. Choose the new role. Very much like an actor chooses a film role and then plays the role, plays that script out, we can choose a new role in our life. And the key is not to look out there. This is so huge. If you can hear this, this is so huge. Neville Goddard says, it is our conception of ourselves which frees us or constrains us. We are so free, we don't even know it, and we choose the bondage at the voice of the ego, the construct of fear. We don't even know we're doing it. We're taught that it's normal. It's not normal. It's not natural. What is natural is love, right? So, conception of ourselves. So we're choosing a new role. We're choosing a new identity. And when you go within to your higher self, your I amness, choosing who you want to be, understand, this is so key. When you persist in that new version, it doesn't feel like effort. If it feels like effort, then you're trying to make something happen. It's the voice of the ego present, telling you it's difficult, and it's lying to you. It's deceiving you. There is no difficulty with love, with who you really are, because when we ask, it is given, and that's what that means. That when we ask from a place of having, of abundance, of that higher identity, that we're here to choose from infinite roles, infinite stories, and it's only the now moment that matters. Who do you want to be now? Keep asking yourself, who do I want to be now, instead of looking out there and saying and defining yourself through the old dead effects, right? The mirror, the whole physical world is just an old reflection. And you get to go within and decide what it all means, right? So persisting in the new story is about an inner conviction, is connecting with that higher you, the love within you, and embodying that. Just making a decision that fulfillment is my only reality. Love is my only reality, regardless if I have a fleeting feeling of fear, a moment of lack. It doesn't matter. We're here to feel every emotion. But when we fight them and try to fix them and try to heal them, that's when we hold on to the falseness of it. This is so huge. We make everything about manifesting or creating, we seek outside of ourselves. We give the power to the people and the circumstances and events. But it's only ever about you. You are only ever contemplating you. So every time you make your story about the special person, the specific person, about the debts piling up, about the job, about the other people, every time you make it about them, you're really talking and contemplating yourself, because you're only ever receiving what you're giving yourself. You're only getting the version of them that you're giving yourself. In other words, the story you're telling about yourself in relationship to everything else. This is really huge to know, right? So, Course in Miracles says, this is about choice. Each choice brings everything or nothing. Each choice brings everything or nothing. What they're saying is love is everything. Fear is nothing. So every choice we make, minute to minute, moment to moment, we're either choosing from that higher perspective of love, the I am-ness, or we're choosing from the little me, the ego voice of fear, that I'm afraid I can't be and do and have what I want. So I'm feeling that unworthiness. And you know how the ego's voice is so afraid, it feels so rejected, but it doesn't even know what it's rejected from because it doesn't understand love. It's just the voice of fear. It's us rejecting us is what it is. So ask yourself, what is motivating me to choose? Be the uncritical observer. Every time you make a choice, know thyself. That's what the Greeks said. That's what it means. Know thyself. It's only ever you. Every battle, every happy moment, every sad moment, it's only ever you talking to you, you contemplating you. So why not contemplate you from that higher perspective? Why not tell the story the way you want it to be, and tell yourself that everything is lining up to that new story. And that's my only story. From now on, my only story is fulfillment, no matter what's going on within me with my thoughts and feelings that are kind of coming and going all the time, or what's going on out there. You decide to define yourself from now on from that new role. And what's the new role? Fulfillment, love. Knowing you always have the freedom to choose instead of chase or seek or cheat, like fix and change and try to manipulate. No, choose. And you choose now and now. There's only ever now. The universe is only responding to me now, right? So no choice can be difficult, right? If you're coming from that love. It's only ever difficult if we're coming from the ego, because the ego is all about confusion and complexity. And the real you, the higher you, the eternal you, is about simplicity. Love asks for nothing. Real love, unconditional love, asks for nothing. It just is. It just emanates. It just wants you to be that love. Contemplate the love that you are, separate from everything else in your life. It is essential to give yourself permission to have. That's from Reality Transurfing, Vadim Zeland. It is essential to give yourself permission to have. That's it. That's the only criteria of choice. Give yourself permission to choose, to have your desire, knowing that every version of you is within you. You're not going out there and becoming or getting anything. It's the story you tell within, and then the outer world will start reflecting that back to you, right? So tell the story that feels good. Like Abraham Hicks says, stop telling it like it is from the ego, from the fear. No, don't tell the story of lack, of debt, of disappointment, of anger. Tell the story the way you want it to be. And that's what starts to rewire those pathways in your brain. And it's easy. When it feels easy, it means you're embodying the love of who you are. And then you don't have to do anything with the voice of fear. Like Byron Katie said, I stopped trying to let go of my thoughts and started questioning them, right? Powerful, powerful message in Byron Katie's teaching. I stopped trying to fix my thoughts or flip her thoughts. She just started questioning the validity of them. Where are they coming from? Are you really true? Who would I be without this thought of fear, of doubt, of worry? In other words, who am I really? I am just love, that eternal love that came here and forgot that purposely got amnesia. That's part of the game of life, to remember it, to create more life, more love, more joy. So contemplate yourself from the new you, that new role. Forget about everything else. Just contemplate that. Focus your energy on that. Leave the world alone and go within. And once you start doing that, watch how fast things start responding to you differently. And in the process, judge everything from your new role, that higher version of you, that expanded version of you, instead of the old you. Leave the old version there, right? It's just an old movie. It's on the shelf. Just shelve it. You don't have to get rid of it. You don't have to fight it. You don't have to change it. Just leave it be. Leave it alone. Remember, now is the only time. Here and now is the only time. So choose your new role. Choose your new story from that perspective. Start embodying the love within you instead of looking outside yourself for validation. Because the only truth is love. There is no value, like A Course in Miracles says, there is no value in the valueless. And what is valueless? Fear, meaning it's not real. It doesn't have a leg to stand on. You'll have a real experience of it, but it's not real in the sense that it has no power unless you give it power. So, make your life story about you, the love of you. That's how you create the new story, the new version of you, is to contemplate yourself from the love, being the source of that love instead of the seeker out there. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. Thank you for commenting, and thank you for subscribing. And until next time, we'll see you soon.